Hello and welcome to TWM Talks. I am your host Shirley, and before we go into our interview with Impact Wrestling star Johnny Swinger, I wanted to plug a couple of our sponsors. The first being We Love Sport UK. Now, no matter what phone you have, whether it's a Samsung, an iPhone, a OnePlus phone, you can go onto your app store and find We Love Sport, and they will track down any bars and pubs that you can go and watch wrestling in, whether this be pay-per-views or anything else. You can track this down. But hopefully the pandemic will mean that we can go to them sooner and we'll actually have them open in time for pay-per-views. But be sure to check out We Love Sport UK on Twitter, because they've been keeping up to date on everything with news with wrestling and every other type of sport if you're into that sort of thing. The next sponsor I want to plug is WrestleCrate UK. Now, WrestleCrate UK, as you probably know, is amazing for exclusive wrestling merchandise. And that includes autographs, Funkos, t-shirts. They have loads. And if you subscribe to them with the code TWM Wrestling, you can get free items with your first 3 boxes that you get from them. That's TWM Wrestling as your code, and be sure to follow them at WrestleCrate UK. Now, we're going to be previewing Slammiversary, which is coming up this Sunday, which you can watch live on Fight TV. And you can check in with our friends at Impact UK to find out when you can watch Slammiversary on UK television. Now, it's really interesting. It's their 16th Slammiversary, and it's the first time ever where the Impact World Championship and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship are being defended in 2 separate matches, where you've got a fatal 4-way for the Impact World Championship match after it was vacated, and then you've got the TNA World Championship match with Tommy Dreamer versus Moose. And we're going to be talking to Johnny Swinger about different things with Impact, where he's been in this business for 27 years now. And there's a lot that we can talk about, but we are going to talk more about his time in Impact and how he's had a resurgence since coming back to Impact in 2019. And we're going to be talking a lot about what he's hoping for in the future, how things have moved forward in his 27-year career, and what his goals are in wrestling now he's been in this business for a long time. So hopefully you enjoy this podcast. Be sure to tweet us at TWM Wrestle, and be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube to listen to this, because we want those YouTube subscribers to go right up. So hopefully you enjoy this interview with Impact Wrestling star Johnny Swinger. Hello, welcome back to TWM Talks, and I am joined by Impact Wrestling superstar who's been in the professional wrestling industry for almost 3 decades, Johnny Swinger. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Don't make me sound so old, though.
I'm sorry. Didn't mean that. But you have been in this business a long time.
We'll just say I'm a veteran.
Yeah, a vet.
Veteran,
Yep.
right?
We'll go with veteran. Yeah, I'll say veteran from now on. But you have been a veteran for a long time. So how have things changed for you in the past 3 decades since you've been in wrestling?
Well, you're right. I've seen the heights of wrestling there in the mid to late 90s, and then the resurgence again, and with the all these. It's basically the new talent coming along every year, and it just gets more exciting. And just the things that I see now in the ring could never even been thought of way back in the early mid 90s. So it's unbelievable, the athletes that have come into professional wrestling and the moves they make out there. It blows me away, and I can see why we still have a huge audience.
So is that the reason why you decided to go win the Impact X division? Because when you first came into Impact, you were part of the tag team division, but now you've gone to the X division. Is that why you chose to go there?
No, I chose to go there because they called and offered me an opportunity to be back on a national stage after several years of just being in the regionals and independents. And I just saw an opportunity to get in, back on television with the hottest group of talent going today. We got the best roster, male and female, that you'll ever find. There isn't one dud on our roster, and I was just honored to be involved, thrown in the mix with all that. And it's just every time I go, it gets more exciting.
How have you improved over this time? Because from watching you on Impact since you returned last year, you've had this kind of like resurgence from when I last saw you back in, I think it's like 2006. I remember watching you on WWE, and now you're just completely different now. What kind of spurred on that resurgence and that sort of like, I want to be the best again?
Well, I think what I did is I went further back to the beginning of my career and pulled some old tricks out that hadn't been seen in a while, and then mixing it up with some of these young guys, these young stallions, and actually taking a couple things from them and mixing it all together and just throwing something out there that's different and new and fresh and a lot of fun.
So who would you say has helped you along with that process?
There's been so many people over the years. As far as coming back into Impact within the last year, there's so many people there that I had started with, like Scott Demore and Don Callis and D'Lo Brown and my old friend Rhino and Rob Van Dam, Tommy Tremer. That's just gentlemen that have been a part of my career since day one, and now we're all back together again, making this magic with all of those names plus the best young talent on the face of the earth, and it's an unbelievable bowl of soup there right now.
In the most recent Impact episode, you wrestled as Suicide, who's got this legacy in TNA and Impact as a high-flying X-Division wrestler. How did it feel to get into that costume and represent that character?
Now, I don't know who said that was me under that costume. Everybody thinks that was me. Maybe just Suicide's been watching some of my tapes and decided to bust out some of my mannerisms, maybe to get a little more pizzazz to his gimmick. I'm not sure, but I actually had a parking ticket that day. I needed to go out and get my mother flowers, and I double parked, and so I don't know what you're talking about as far as me being Suicide, but if he's stealing my gimmick, I do need to know about it because that's infringement. I'll have to sue.
TWM podcasts are brought to you by We Love Sport, the fantastic app finding you your nearest sports bar showing the latest WWE pay-per-views. We Love Sport has over 400 of the best sports bars and pubs in the UK at your fingertips and allows you to book front row seats, giving you the best views of the action. You can also check out what sports are being shown over the next 7 days, making sure you don't miss a second of the action. Download the We Love Sport app on the App Store or Google Play Store. Follow We Love Sport on all social media platforms at We Love Sport UK and check out welovesport.co.
Well, you've got Slammiversary coming up this Sunday, and you've been in this feud with Willie Mack, and you've had Chris B also involved. So what are your plans for Slammiversary? Are you going to keep a close eye on that match? Are you going to try and get involved? What are you thinking of doing?
Well, Chris Baseman is a great talent, and he's taken some of my advice here, and he's got a game plan. He knows how to go out there and win. He doesn't need my help. I will be at Slammiversary in some way, shape, or form, and I'm going to have my eyes glued to that X Division title match because becoming X Division champion is not, I don't believe it's out of my reach at this point in my career. So I know that if I believe that Chris Bay is going to be victorious, and when he is, I know he's going to give the Swingman a shot because that's the kind of guy he is.
And with the rest of the card as well, we've got some really interesting matches such as the Fatal 4-Way for the Impact World Championship, and we've got this mystery spot now. If you could pick anyone to fill that mystery spot, who would you want in there and why?
I'll tell you the one person I would want in there, and the one person I think all the Mizarks would want in there. How about Johnny Swinger?
Yeah.
Talk about coming out of left field. What a Cinderella story that would be.
Yeah.
And it's entirely possible.
I mean, it's available, so you can easily put your name in there. That's
right. You never know what the office has in mind, and if I were to get an opportunity like that, imagine all the stops I'd pull out.
And you're fairly certain you'd win that match against Ace Austin and everyone else in that match?
That's quite the talent there, but I'd do my best. I'd find a way. I'd pull out every gimmick I got, every smoke screen from my 20-plus years of experience. I'd leave no stone unturned, that's for sure.
You've been looking for the perfect tag team partner, and who would you pick then? Because there's lots of free agents out there now, and lots of people who are free agents who used to be in TNA at the time you were in TNA back in the early 2000s. Who would you pick to be your perfect tag team partner if you had free reign to pick anyone?
That's hard to say. There's so many great talents out there right now that I could see myself forming a great tag team with it. It takes two to tango, it really does, and I would definitely like to, maybe me and Chris Bay take a shot at those tag team titles. I'm sure he wouldn't mind an extra belt over his shoulder and the extra payday. So I think him and we already got a good rapport. He listens. He's got a lot going for him, but he knows you never stop learning. Hey, the Swingman never stops learning. I still pick up things here and there from guys that have been around longer than me. So I think we'd be a great tag team. I'm willing to work with anybody if it can draw money, that's for sure.
Well, you just said about how Chris Bay takes advice from you and listens to you. if you could go back to 1993 when you first debuted and you could speak to you 27 years ago, what would you say to him and give him advice to move forward?
Save your money. And be very careful. Yeah, don't do too much high risk, because if you get injured too badly, your career's over with. There's a short shelf life on being a professional wrestler, so be smart out there, calculated risks, and stay injury free any way possible. It's all in the longevity. The longer you're around, the better chance you got of making it big and making a lot of money.
TWM Wrestling wants you to check out 1310 Apparel, your place for fresh, fashionable wrestling merchandise. T-shirts, hats, hoodies, and loads more available at your fingertips. To get 25% off at checkout, use the code TWM25 when you go to 1310apparel.bigcartel.com. You can follow them at 1310 Apparel on Facebook and Instagram, 1310 Apple on Twitter, and once again, TWM25 at checkout to get 25% off at 1310apparel.bigcartel.com. That's 1310apparel.bigcartel.com. Is there anything you would change in these past 27 years, or would you stay on the same course that you've done?
No, I pretty much set out a plan and I followed it, and nothing comes out perfectly, but I had planned for a long career, and that's where I'm at right now. And I stayed dedicated over the years, always trained my body, never took a break from that, and been very fortunate with never had a serious injury that put me on the shelf too long. And I think that'd be the main advice is take care of your body, because that's where it's at. When you lose your body, your career's over.
Yeah, and that's a big thing. So do you work, I'm guessing you work out a lot, and you've been keeping updated throughout this pandemic, making sure you're in tip-top shape for your career. Am I right in thinking that?
There is no excuse. Yeah, they shut down the gyms and all that, so I made one at my house. And training's like breathing for me, like washing my hands, and it should be for anybody else that's in this sport. I mean, this is your bread and butter. Is you got to keep your back strong, your neck to be able to take the abuse of the slams and the suplexes and these unbelievable moves, these guys. The more durable your body is, the longer you're going to last, the better chance you're going to have.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll get to that point where you can have dream matches. So if you could have a dream match with anyone, who would your dream match be against?
I'll tell you what, being in that four-way match for the Impact World Championship would be a dream match. Maybe taking on Moose for a TNA World title. I think I'd like to have a world title match on national TV or pay-per-view. I think that'd be that's something that I've never achieved yet, and that would be a dream match, having a world championship match on television or pay-per-view.
Well, this is the really interesting thing about this Slammiversary is it's the first time where both the Impact World title and the TNA World title are being defended on the same show. And as someone who was in Impact in its earliest, how does it make you feel to see both of those titles being defended?
I think it's great because TNA has a great legacy. I was right there at the beginning, and there were a lot of great shows, like great pay-per-views that came out of TNA, and it's very hard to name a major league big-time wrestler that wasn't a part of TNA at one time. So I think it's great that there's two world champions. There's two opportunities for someone to achieve real greatness.
Yeah. And is that what...
I definitely, I see that as a possibility.
So is that your future goal, is to win one of the world titles or even have both at the same time?
Unbelievable how that would be. To me, it would just be unbelievable honor to be there and be involved in the match, be involved in the hype and the promotion of it all, and to represent something with a great, long, strong history.
Slammiversary is Sunday. What can fans expect from the show?
A lot of surprises. I'm going there almost as a fan, as a Mizark, so to speak. Just excited to see how it all unfolds. It's going to be pretty exciting. Even I don't know what's going to happen. So just the excitement, all that. I can't wait to get there and see how everything unfolds and where the cards lay for my own personal career and for the company going forward. Yeah,
and hopefully it leads to great things, because the Slammiversary is always that pay-per-view where it's the start of the new year for Impact Wrestling, and there's always major surprises. And recently there's been these videos coming up of someone debuting, and if you could think of anyone that could debut this Sunday, who would you want to debut?
Well, like you said, there's a lot of folks out there, a lot of hot free agents. We can't take everybody. There's not room for everybody. So I think the best are going to be there. I'd be interested to see EC3 come back. He had quite a run as the Impact World Champion a few years back. But guy looks like he's carved out of granite.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going training with him. Maybe we'll do some bench presses together or something. But man, what a stud he is. He's got everything going for him. He's still a young guy, got a lot of big future ahead of him. I think he'd be great to come back in. I'm sure the Mizarks would love him, love to see him again and, on their screen, and it'd be quite a gain for Impact.
I think my choice for that, I love EC3 as well, but my choice would be Eric Young. I'd love to see him back in Impact Wrestling because I feel like that's where...
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of his too.
And I feel like he's got so much more in the tank.
I wrestled him way back when he first started. I remember wrestling him. He was maybe only wrestling a year or two, and I knew he could see back then, even when he first started, he had a lot of talent going for him. I believe he's a former world champion too. So you got a lot of ex-world champion free agents out there. So it's going to be unbelievable to see who shows up and what transpires. And I hope I'm in the middle of it all. I really do. I want to be in the mix with all of it.
Well, hopefully you are, and I wish you all the luck in Slammiversary and the future. This is the opportunity now for you to plug any socials and any sort of promotion you want to do. This is your time to promote anything.
You can catch me on Instagram at Johnny_Swinger. I'm on Twitter at Swinger_Johnny. Of course, Facebook, and for sure, Slammiversary this Saturday live.
And you can find me on Twitter at Hey I'm Shirleigh. You can find me on Instagram at Shirley Shirls, and you can find more podcast news and articles at TWM Wrestle. Be sure to watch Slammiversary this weekend on Fight TV and through our friends at Impact UK and Fight Network UK. Be sure to check their social medias to find out where you can watch Slammiversary this weekend. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much, Johnny, for your time. And yeah, I'll speak to you all soon.